Everyone, good evening. Jimmy Wagner, I thank you very much. Willie, I thank you very, very much. I thank all of you in this room for your hard work for setting up the Donald J. Trump Republican Club. Most of you know who I am. I have the honor and the pleasure. My name is Richie Barsamian, and I am the chairman of the Brooklyn Republican Party. And tonight, I am before you as I was just a couple of weeks ago. I am also candidate for New York City Council in District 47, representing Bay Ridge, hoping to represent Bay Ridge, a portion of Gravesend, Seagate, and Coney Island. And I come to you tonight to talk about something of incredible importance. We must never be derailed from our mission. We must never allow one-party supermajority rule to try to dissuade us from our rights. And you know what the ultimate right is? The right of justice for the individual, the right for us to be unified. Do not fall victim to the propaganda of Democrats and Republicans and conservatives and independents. Rather, let your compass be guided by the one true reality: responsibility and common sense. We must unify, and we will bring results. Just a few months ago, the Democrat Senate in the state of New York held a supermajority. They do not anymore, thanks to the hard work of so many people in southern Brooklyn, and thanks to the election of Senator Steve Chan. We now have, thank you everyone, we now have in southern Brooklyn more Republican, responsible elected representatives than we have since 1974. And do you know why that happened? Why it will continue to happen? Why I will win my city council race? Why all of our candidates will make it over the finish line? Because we refuse to be stuck in one lane of thinking. We refuse to simply think as Republicans. Indeed, we welcome all. We want input of real Democrats, Rachel, not socialists, not people who hijack our nation, not people who disrespect our veterans. I want Democrats. I want independents. I want Republicans. I want conservatives. I want libertarians. I want New Yorkers who yearn for justice. And you know what? Thank you. 2 or 3 times I've brought this powerful image up. But for some people, it's more than an image. It's part of the difficulty of their daily life these last 3 or 4 years. So I ask you this question, ladies and gentlemen, my brothers and sisters. David Rem, candidate for mayor, candidate for city council. The room is filled with good candidates. Here's a question. How, as the greatest city in the world, can we allow the injustice to exist where just a few years ago we went to our fire escapes, we went to the front of our houses and started banging pots and pans and proclaiming how we love our workers. We love everyone. We called them heroes. But a hero like Rachel, a hero like my dear friend sitting back there, a hero like so many people here, they decided their body, their choice, that they did not want to put an unknown substance into their bloodstream. So instead of saying, yay, heroes, you know what they came home to? With their children, their mortgages, their families, their obligations, they came home to, thanks very, very much, but you don't have a job. Wait a minute. Nurses, teachers, firefighters, police officers, corrections officers, EMTs and paramedics that are dealing with highly infectious disease, that don't ask questions, they help. They risk the safety of themselves and their families. They were told, I'm sorry, you don't want this vaccination, this needle, so you don't have a job? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the city that found billions of dollars to put people in $500 a night hotel rooms. This is the city that found billions of dollars to suddenly create emergency shelter on demand, but yet we turned our back on school teachers. We turned our back on our hero EMTs and paramedics. Is there anyone who thinks that this is justice? Is there anyone who can excuse this atrocity, this miscarriage of justice? If you believe it's okay to tell an individual to violate the sovereignty of their body or dismiss them, put them in the street, please raise your hand, because it doesn't matter to me what party you belong to, because you've just displayed something that is our enemy. It's called irresponsibility. And we here in this room, we may have entered as members of a political party, but we're leaving with an education, we're leaving with compassion, and we're leaving with an action plan. And I want to make this very, very clear, not because Attorney Wagner is here, not because my buddy Rachel is here, but because the truth is the truth. We must never, ever allow, what is it now, almost 4 years? Okay. 1,120 days?
1,120 days.
How can a nation, a state as great as New York, the Big Apple, the 5 boroughs of New York City, how can we ever allow people that were removed from their job to not only be reinstated, but they must be compensated? It must happen immediately. If the courts will not agree to allow this to happen, then we bring an avalanche of responsible elected officials. Please allow me to be one of them. Please allow me to be one of them to fight for those who have lost everything because they believed that they had the right to protect their body and their family. Please allow my responsible colleagues in races all over the city. Please allow someone running for mayor that you want to support to join me, as I refuse to allow New York City retirees to have a Medicare Advantage plan pushed down their throat. We cannot continue just to tell people, gee, I'm sorry, but due process rights don't apply to you. You may not know who's sitting next to your child in school. You may not even know who lives next door to you because of the wacky nature of our world. But you know what? You have no due process rights. Constitutional safeguards, they don't apply to you. What did I do? You were a school teacher. You wouldn't get vaccinated. I'm sorry. You have to be removed from your job. We can do this. We can do this. We can unite. We can multiply. 40, 50 years ago, there was a commercial about some shampoo. I don't remember the name, but the commercial said clearly, you tell 2 friends, they tell 2 friends, they tell 2 friends. We have the power of multiplication and common sense. Remember, several decades ago, they told us Giuliani would never be mayor. They told us Bloomberg would never be mayor. People like to tell us, Liam, how many times in every election do we hear no, 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 no? But you know what we say? We say yes, because we will fight. And I will hold the hand of a Democrat. I will hold the hand of a libertarian. This is what I ask in return. Don't be focused on the party. Be focused on what the message is. Be focused on unity. And remember, the threat to democracy is one-party rule. The threat to the people and their safety and what we believe in is a desire to divide us, because with division comes the ability to conquer. And I leave you with words that I learned as a very young man in school. Every year we gather and we celebrate what should be civil rights for everyone. We're taught of the heroes who sacrificed their safety, their well-being, because they saw what has to be done, and they went out and they did it. And I bring to you the greatest words that you can imagine that are now part of U.S. history. And they come from 1963, from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And when I finish speaking in a moment, I want you to play these words again and again in your mind, and don't let anyone take their importance away from you. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. If I turn my back as a New Yorker, if I turn my back as a city council candidate on the plight of those people who didn't take the vaccination. Do you know who's next, ladies and gentlemen? You're next, and then you're next, and then he's next. We must protect our future. We must protect our rights. We must protect who we are as New Yorkers. Do not remove anyone from the conversation. Let us be strong. Let us be united. And I am very proud to say these words, and I'll fight anyone over these words. God bless America, and God bless the state of New York. Thank you so much, everyone.